Support for Radio Friends comes from La Brunerie Financial, where they work to ensure a lifetime of financial security for people from all walks of life, from investment services to retirement plans. If you're looking for a trustworthy company that has the experience and knowledge to put your interests first, contact La Brunerie Financial, a community-based investment counseling firm since 1966. Good morning. Welcome to Radio Friends on Monday, August the 31st. I cannot believe this is the last day of August of 2020. Where does time go? And boy, has 2020 been a year to remember. We have Mar Doering with us, and Connor, good to have you here.
Well, thank you for having us.
All Paws Medical and Behavioral Center.
Yes.
Today we wanted to talk a little bit more about the changing of the season. I'm not ready for winter.
Oh, I am not a winter person. I'm a summer person.
But time marches on, and slowly but surely we transition from summer into fall and then to winter. And there are some things that we need to keep in mind for our pets.
Yes. As a veterinarian, I see lots of things that are wonderful about the coming of fall, but also some things that I want people to keep in mind to protect their pets. Some of those things, you might think that the danger of ticks is over. It is not over. And when the leaves start falling, the dogs like to play in the leaves, and there can be ticks underneath those leaves, especially as it's transitioning from the summer to fall. And there are some very bad diseases, tick-carried diseases, they're called tick-carried parasites, that are very dangerous to animals, to dogs specifically, and even to humans. So you've probably heard of Lyme's disease is one of them. Here we do see a little bit of Lyme's, but we see more of Ehrlichia and also Rocky Mountain spotted fever we see quite a bit. And I have seen several cases just recently, and a couple of them have been very close to death. It can cause...
In the dogs? In the dogs?
From dogs, yes, in dogs. So that it shows with very little symptoms at first. People will say, I don't know, they just act like they might have all of a sudden got a little arthritis, or they're just not feeling so good, they're not eating so well. So it's little symptoms to begin with, but it can progress to complete paralysis. It can progress, sadly, even to death.
From a tick bite in a dog?
The tick bite, it's not the tick bite itself, but the tick is carrying the parasite. So when the tick attaches, then it makes basically a hole in the pet so that it can suck its blood. It is releasing, if it's carrying it, it is releasing a poison, a parasite, that will potentially poison the pet.
Okay, now here's a question for you. Now I use, with my dog Sparny, we use the little tube that you put on, and it lasts for a month.
Exactly.
You put it under the coat.
Yes.
Now, if you're using that and you have it on your dog, I noticed though still the tick will die if it bites the dog, but does it mean that the dog is totally protected from that disease of the tick?
The tick, well, let's say it this way. The shorter period of time that tick is on your pet, the better, because the tick-carried parasite can enter the bloodstream. The longer it's on, the more likely that it will affect the pet.
So you're saying by using that tick preventative,
yes,
you're pretty much protecting your pet.
You don't want to say 100% in the sense that it doesn't kill the tick, it doesn't prevent the tick, it kills the tick. So, yes, to keep that medicine on is a very, very best thing that you can do, and it works very, very well.
Yes, it does, because I've noticed there will still be, occasionally there will be a tick, but the tick seems like it's dead.
Yes,
it's
and
dead.
As long as it's dead, however, for the period of time that it was alive before the tick preventative did its job, which is probably within 12 hours, there is a minor likelihood that it could still have allowed a tick-carried parasite to enter. Now, this is the thing. So 2 things about this. Number one, what you're saying is absolutely the case. Prevent with the very, very good products that are out there. You want to make sure you've got a really good one, and talk to your veterinarian about what is the best and what is working the best, because some of them, the ticks and fleas, can be resistant to. So make sure you've got a good one. Make sure that you are seeing only dead ticks, but watch out, because sometimes you think that your pet is completely protected and they show those symptoms. Go to your veterinarian. There is a treatment for this, and it's actually an antibiotic. It's a very safe treatment, but the sooner your pet gets it, the better. So if you wake up one morning and all of a sudden your pet wasn't stiff the night before, but all of a sudden it acts like, wow, my pet's got...
You need to suspect that perhaps
You
it could
at
be a
least
tick.
need to talk to your vet.
Even if you're still using the tick preventative.
Yes, it's not 100% guarantee that a tick-carried parasite did not get in there. So if you said, you know what, to my vet, we always ask the question when people have certain kind of symptoms that they mention to us, and we'll say, have you ever seen a tick on your pet even though, maybe it died, or you're using preventative? Well, yeah, but it's been a couple of weeks. That's still a red flag.
Okay.
There is a test for that, a blood test, and also there is treatment, and the treatment is it's a good treatment. It doesn't necessarily kill I don't want to go into too much detail for you, but it doesn't necessarily kill the parasite, but it stops it from reproducing. It is a lifesaver if you get to it early enough.
Okay.
Yes.
And the other thing is, the heartworm preventative. Make sure your dog and if your cat's outside on the heartworm preventative.
Absolutely.
Because that's a lifesaver also.
That is a lifesaver. I cannot think of anything that is worth the money more than the heartworm preventative for pets, because mosquitoes carry heartworm disease. How many mosquitoes are out in mid-Missouri? A lot. And it's one of those situations where they're so excellent that really they work so effectively to protect your pet from this disease that is carried from one dog or cat to another. And all that has to happen is the mosquito bites that dog, comes to your pet, bites your pet.
And then it's transferred.
And that can transmit it if that dog has it. So everybody out there that has a dog, they should be on a heartworm preventative. But first, you just don't put them on that. You need to talk to a veterinarian and have a blood test taken. You do not put them on a heartworm preventative.
Right, because if they have heartworms and you put them on that preventative, you could kill the dog.
You could. You absolutely could. And also, most heartworm preventatives have a preventative for intestinal parasites too, for hookworms and roundworms and sometimes even whipworms. So that's fantastic, a big help.
Mar, thank you so much for coming by. If people want more information, your phone number is 573-896-4040.
That is exactly it. Thank you so much.
Medical and behavioral center.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome, Mar. It's always a pleasure to have you here. We're out of time for today. And there, Connor, thank you. You look beautiful over there, Connor. Rescued and loved, right? If there's something you'd like to hear or see, we'd love to hear from you. Drop me an email, pepperp@missouri.edu. Bye-bye.